It's Saturday, it's 9:30 in the morning, and I received a request yesterday, and I'm happy because I like requests. I like to communicate with people. Actually, before the internet times in the 1980s, I had a pen pal, a guy from Brazil, and we wrote each other, and he told his experiences and I shared mine. So I like that. Today you have the internet, you have YouTube. It's a lot easier. You don't have to wait for a letter, 3 weeks for a letter. Or I waited for a month for the letters to come from Brazil back then. And now you just upload a video on YouTube. It's quite easy. Or you text a message and send to someone in the world. So this is a request from someone. I think it's a woman. Actually, I think she's doing drugs because I checked out her YouTube page, and there's a video about bongs and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter. Um, this person, she writes, answer my question. You still don't answer my question. I don't know what she's referring to because this is the first message that I receive. I am intrigued because I've lived in the American bubble forever, with only the media to teach about everything else. Okay. That's interesting. I've been living outside this bubble for all my life. I've never been into this bubble, but I have quite a good idea about what it's like to be inside there. I think living there, it's like you don't have, the society, this bubble, you don't have a variation of ideas there. It's like it's kind of rigid society, and you only have two political parties. You have the Democrats and you have the Republicans, and in my eyes those parties, those are quite similar to each other. I mean, the main idea the idea that they share about freedom, it's a very popular word inside the bubble, freedom, and to that the government should not interfere in people's affairs. Also quite important. And just a second. So also you have the the flat tax that everyone pays the same tax, the same percentage of their salary in taxes. I mean, if you're a street sweeper, bus driver, or a CEO, like corporate executive, you pay the same percentage in tax. It's a flat tax. So they have that. That's I think both parties, they have the idea that that is the correct thing to do here. And freedom. You have the freedom to choose. You have the freedom. It's like you can choose to have a health insurance, or you can choose to not have a health insurance in the land of the free. Where I come from, all people are insured, although health care is poor. That is, you might have to wait for months to get treatment. It's not that easy to get an appointment with the doctor. So there are issues here as well. In the political arena, it's quite different here in Sweden, where I live. We have a a broad spectrum of political views. It's like in the parliament there are right-wing, there are nationalists, there are liberals, there are environmentalists, there are communists even, although they don't call themselves communists. Communists today they're changed the name, but there are leftists, former communists. So there are lots of choices here. If you are a socialist, you would vote for the socialists. There's the Socialist Party or the Communist Party. If you're a right-winger, if you're a nationalist, you would choose those parties. Inside the bubble in America, you don't have that choice. You choose the Republicans or the Democrats. So that's a difference. So let's see, go further, see what I can find this message that this person sent me. I need to know the impact you and everyone else on some other continent learn English along with you and everyone else's native language. Is something the American culture doesn't care about? Why do most born and raised Americans? So let's see. The question was, why do we learn English? Because we have to. It's not that I have learned English because I want to go to London, England and ask for directions. It's because I want access to information. I quitted school a long time ago, but I still want to learn new things all day long. That's, the meaning of life, actually, to be wiser and wiser, to learn new things. And if you don't know English, there's a lot of information out there on the internet and, at the library. And if you want to find out something, maybe about an event in history or about the uprising conflict in Syria, about the war. There is going to be a war. I wouldn't find that much information in my native language as I would in English, because there's a lot of information in English, and I want to know. And so I have to know the English language. Also, I like to study other languages, like now I'm studying Hungarian. I like that because I want to know things about Hungary. And so there are no learning material in Swedish for studying Hungarian, so I have to know English. And so it's crucial to know English because all the major information is in English, so that's why we learn. And if you go to the university and even if you study economics, if you want to study history, you have to know English because there is no learning material in Swedish. I remember I studied history a long time ago. I was supposed to read about the slavery in ancient Greece or something, or in Rome, in the Roman Empire, and there were a book like this one, a thick book, big book, in English, because there was no information in Swedish about the topic. So, very important to know English. So, let's see. Why do most born and raised Americans don't know a second language, but the rest of the world does? That's pretty much what I said. If you're a native English speaker, you already have the access to all this information. You don't have to study other languages, because you read English, you can go to Wikipedia and learn about the about something, and you click the Wikipedia, English Wikipedia for the topic, and you have, it's like you know, lots of information in English. You click the Swedish or the Danish or page, you have this much. In English, it's like that much. If you go click German, you have maybe like this. English is always more information. In Swedish, that much. So you don't have to learn another language, except maybe if you're going to another country and you would to meet and hang around with the locals. It could be an advantage to know, but other than that, you don't have to know another language. But the rest of the world, I know I know not everyone elsewhere speak English, but I really would like to know the mentality of how governments in the school system go about language education in other countries for their children. Operate. You seem like a reasonably smart guy. When did you multi-language? Well, in school here in Sweden, all children, they study English from 3rd grade. Compulsory. So, you seem like a reasonably smart guy. When did your multi-language for yourself begin, or for your children? I studied English early on, I think at 3rd or 4th grade. And I watch. It's not only that I learned English in school. I watched TV when I grew up, and we have no subtitling like they have in Germany and France. They put another voice on the actor. So in Germany, Sylvester Stallone, he speaks German. In France, he speaks French. In Sweden, when you see a Sylvester Stallone or Bruce Willis movie, he speaks English with a Swedish subtitle, so it's easier to learn, the phrases if you have a subtitling. So I watched Beretta when I was a young boy. I watched Kojak. I watched all those series you see in America, and nowadays we can see pretty much everything here with subtitles. We can see Judge Judy. We can see The Bachelor. We can see what else? Dr. Phil. We can see Cops. We can see America's Funniest Home Videos. We can see everything that you see. A couple of years ago, they even showed the Jerry Springer show on TV3. So I watched that, and you watch these TV shows and you learn how to say things. You learn all the words, not like how are you, what's your name. You learn like all the expressions, that you have to know. So TV has a very important function, and now with YouTube, and then the internet, you learn even more. And my children, they also study English in school. My son, he is playing computer games online, so he has to know English to communicate with those gamers out there in cyberspace. My multi-language. Please tell me I can't know unless someone from your side tells me. It's really important. Thanks, Michelle. My multi-language talent. I am talented. I really think I consider myself as a talent when it comes to languages. Of course, my first language is Swedish. That's my native language. And then I would say second, I would say English and Russian. I studied Russian for a few years, so I think I feel comfortable speaking Russian. I don't like to read in Russian, but listen to it and I speak it. And then English, if I can't read Swedish, I prefer, my first choice would be English, to read in English. And third, I would say German. I can speak German. I've studied German. I'm not on the same level with German as in English. I know a little bit less German compared to the English language, and then I know, of course, I could understand Danish. I was in Denmark this summer, so it's quite hard to understand. But if you learn a few words in Danish, I could understand that, and a little bit of Finnish also. Couple of phrases, and French I know. I could get by a little bit in French, go shopping and so forth. And Spanish and Italian, a few phrases there. And now I want to learn Hungarian, so I know lots of languages. Knowing a language is like a key. It's like you get the key to open a door. And you open that door and you see a whole new environment. And you get the access to that environment. So it's easy. It's really an advantage to know languages. And I will go on and study languages, and I will learn more and more for each day. So that's my answer to this request video.